Hello dear student. In part 3, Unit 5 Surface Chemistry, we will cover following contents: important features of solid catalyst, characteristic of enzyme catalysis, mechanism of enzyme catalysis, colloids and its classification based on interaction between dispersion phase or dispersion medium, classification of colloidal particle based on dispersion phase, and the property of colloids. So let's discuss all the points one by one. Important features of solid catalyst. First is activity. Generally, chemical reaction occur in chemosorption process. So, the activity of catalyst depend upon the strength of chemosorption to a large extent. The adsorption should be reasonably strong, but not so strong if they become immobile and no space available for the other reactant to get adsorbed. So that condition when occur, activity is not so strong of the catalyst. For example, hydrogen when react with oxygen in the presence of platinum catalyst and form water molecule. And generally, activity of catalyst in periodic table shows from the group number 5 to 11, and among this group number 7 to 9 element shows more activity, and maximum activity shows by this group of element. So generally they belongs the D block elements. Next feature is selectivity. The selectivity of catalyst is its ability to direct a reaction to a particular product. So basically, particular catalyst form a particular product. For example, when we react hydrogen and carbon monoxide using different catalyst, we get different product in each reaction. For example, carbon monoxide plus 3 mole of hydrogen in the presence of nickel catalyst, it form the methane and water molecule. Then in this same reaction we use a different catalyst like copper, zinc oxide and chromium oxide. We get the alcohol at methyl alcohol. And when we same reaction use the copper as a catalyst, we get the product formaldehyde. So we can see that in same reaction when we use the different catalyst, we get the different products. So selectivity is the catalyst is used to ability to the direct a reaction yield a particular product. Next important feature of solid catalyst is shape selective catalyst. So it is the basically depend upon the special structure, the catalytic reaction that depends upon the pore structure of catalyst and the size of reactant and product molecule. Therefore they fit in the pore structure and chemical reaction occur. So it's depend on the structure and size of the reactant molecule, and therefore it is called the safe selective catalyst. For example, cracking of isomerism of hydrocarbon in the presence of zeolite is an example of safe selective catalyst. Next important example is zeolite catalyst used for petroleum industry. It is ZSM5 and it is convert alcohol directly into gasoline. This is the structure of GSM5 zeolite example. So zeolite is the best example of the safe selective catalyst because it's a honeycomb structure and easily other reactant molecule fit in this catalyst and chemical reaction occur by this catalyst. Characteristics of enzyme catalyst. First is high efficiency. It means enzyme molecule shows high efficiency It's one molecule of an enzyme may transfer 1 million molecule of reactant per minute. Next characteristic is highly specific in nature. It means each enzyme catalyzed cannot catalyze more than one reaction. It means one enzyme catalyzed only one type of reaction. For example, urease enzyme catalyzes the decomposition of urea and it decomposes into ammonia and carbon dioxide. So this urease enzyme does not catalyze any other reaction. Next is optimum temperature. So enzyme catalysts give higher yield at optimum temperature. It means it's in enzyme work properly at the favorable temperature, that is 298 to 310 Kelvin. Human body temperature, that is at the being 310 Kelvin, is suited for enzyme catalyst reaction. So at that temperature, at that optimum temperature, enzyme work properly and we get higher yield at that optimum temperature. Next is optimum pH, and enzyme also proper work at optimum pH. The rate of enzyme catalyst reaction is maximum at optimum temperature and this pH range is 5 to 7. So is this in this range enzymes work properly and we get higher yield. Next, activators. So generally activators are ions and it help in the activity of enzymes which cannot act on their own strengths. For example, sodium chloride help to activate the amylase enzyme, and sodium ion, basically sodium ion enhance the activity of amylase enzyme. Next is coenzyme. Coenzymes are the substance having nature similar to the enzymes and their presence increase the enzyme activity. Mostly vitamins act as coenzymes. So these vitamins also increase the activity of enzymes and so they are called coenzymes. Next is effect of inhibitors. Inhibitors slow down the rate of an enzymes, so it is act as a poison for enzymes. The use of many drugs is based on the enzyme inhibition action on those drugs in the body. So basically any allergy, for any allergy some enzymes are responsible. This enzyme, some drugs use as a enzyme inhibitor. Next, mechanism of enzyme catalysis. Enzymes are generally complex nitrogenous organic compounds which are produced by living plants and animals. They are actually protein molecules of high molecular mass, and when we dissolve in water it form colloidal solution. They are also known as biochemical catalysts because they are produced by living plants and it catalyze the chemical reaction in the living organism. And the enzyme catalyst mechanism occur in two steps. First is binding of enzyme to substrate to form the activated complex. So see in this picture, here the surface of colloidal particle of enzyme, number of cavities are present and this cavities are characteristic in shape, and actually these are the active center of the surface of enzyme particle, and the molecule of reactant which have complementary shape fit into the in this cavity, just like fit into lock and form activated complex. And in this second step, decomposition of activated complex to form product, and after that the formation of activated complex, decompose the activated complex and form the product. Next topic is colloids. So, a colloid is a heterogeneous system in which one substance is dispersed as a fine particle in another substance, that is called dispersion medium. So, in this colloidal having two components, dispersion medium and dispersion phase. So, we can define as the phase in which scattering is done is called dispersion medium or continuous medium, and dispersion phase we can define as phase in which dispersed or scattering through the dispersion medium is called dispersed phase or discontinuous medium. Next, see the classification of colloidal solution on the basis of physical state of dispersion medium or phase. So let's discuss the example of different colloidal system on the basis of physical state. So when dispersion phase solid and dispersion medium also solid, the type of colloidal system is called solid sol. An example for this colloidal system is colored glasses and gemstones. Next example is when the dispersion phase is solid and dispersion medium is liquid, that type of colloidal system is called sol. An example is pens and cell fluids. Next example is when dispersion phase is solid and dispersion medium is gas. Example, the type of colloidal system is called aerosol. An example is smoke and dust. When dispersion phase liquid and dispersion medium is solid, the type of colloidal system is called gel. Example, cheese, butter and jellies. And when dispersion medium and dispersion phase both are liquid, the type of colloidal system is emulsion. An example is milk, hair cream. Next example, when dispersion phase liquid and dispersion medium is gas, the type of colloidal system is called aerosol. An example is fog, mist, cloud and insecticide sprays. When dispersion phase gas and dispersion medium solid, type of colloidal system is called solid sol, and example is pumic stone and foam rubber. Next, when the dispersion phase is gas and dispersion medium is liquid, the type of colloidal system is called foam. Example, fourth and white. Other example, soap and leather. And gas colloidal system cannot be formed because of when mixed gas and gas both are dispersion medium and dispersion phase are gas, they are form a homogeneous mixture, and colloidal is heterogeneous mixture, therefore gas cannot form the colloidal system. Next, classification of colloids on the basis of nature of interaction between dispersion phase and dispersion medium. The colloids are classified into two types, namely lyophobic, it means liquid hating sols, and lyophilic, it means liquid loving sols. So let's discuss the difference between these sols. First, these colloids are liquid hating, and this colloids, lyophobic colloids, are liquid loving. Second difference, in this colloids, particles of dispersion phase have no affinity for dispersion medium. It means disperse phase colloidal particles are not associated with dispersion medium. And in lyophilic, this colloids, the particle of dispersion phase have great affinity to dispersion medium. So they are easily mixed up with dispersion medium. Next, third difference, they are not stable because they are not associated properly, it, they are not stable. But lyophobic soles are stable because colloids particle properly mix up with dispersion medium and make a stable colloidal solution. They can be prepared by mixing substance directly without any other chemical method. Direct mixing the dispersion phase with dispersion medium and make a lyophobic sole. But in lyophilic sole, they cannot be prepared by mixing substance directly. They are prepared by only special methods, by chemical methods. Therefore, they are stable. Then next, they need stabilizing agent because they are unstable. So for stabilizing, they are need stabilizing agent. But lyophobic do not need stabilizing because they are already stable, and they are irreversible sole. But lyophilic are reversible soles. It means we can separate the dispersion phase and dispersion medium after the forming lyophilic soles. Next classification is based on the type of particles of dispersed phase. So there are three type of colloids based on the type of dispersed phase, namely multimolecular colloids, the colloids in which the colloidal particle consists of aggregate of atom or small molecules. The diameter of the colloidal particle formed is less than 1 nanometer. So that type of a small particle when aggregate, it form multimolecular colloids. For example, metal salts are form that type of colloidal solution. Next type of colloid is macromolecular colloids. These are the colloids in which dispersed particles are themselves large molecules like polymers. Since the molecule have dimension comparably to those of colloid particles, and their dispersion are called macromolecular colloids. For example, protein is a example of polymer, starch also a polymer, and cellulose also a polymer. And that type of molecules when dissolved in water, any other solvent, they form a macromolecule colloids. Next, third type of colloids is associate colloids. It's also called micelles. Those colloids which behave as normal strong electrolyte at low concentration, but at higher concentration it shows the property of colloid particles due to the formation of aggregate particles of colloidal dimension. Such substances are also referred to as associate colloids. Soap molecule shows that type of colloidal particles, and its special type molecule form micelles. At the micelle formation at the particular temperature, that temperature is called Kraft temperature, and in the we can represent by the symbol of Tk. Micelle also form only the above the certain temperature is called Kraft temperature, and it also form a particular concentration, and that concentration is called critical micelle concentration, in short form CMC. So micelle are formed only above the particular concentration is called critical micelle concentration. Then soaps These are the sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acids. So for example, sodium stearate, its formula is CH3 CH2 whole 16 CO negative and Na positive charge. So that is sodium stearate molecule. Example of soap. Mechanism of micelle formation. So soap molecule having two special type of molecule. Long hydrocarbon chain part is called hydrophobic part, and the cationic part is called hydrophilic head part. So this soap molecule at a higher concentration, that is critical micelle concentration at and Kraft temperature, at the particular above temperature, this soap molecule aggregate and form a spherical shape, and in this spherical shape hydrophobic tail part towards the center and the cationic part head part towards the peripheral, and that type of arrangement and associate molecule is called micelles. Cleaning action of soap molecule. So the micelles dissolve oily droplets or dirt by the hydrophobic ends. When we soak our clothes into the soap or detergent solution, the oily and dirt tends to left from the dirt surface and dissociate into fragments. This given us the opportunity to other tails to stick to oil, and now solution containing a small globules like that of oil surrounded by soap detergent molecule. This the negative charged heads present in water prevent the small globules from coming together and form cluster. So that type of globule molecules coming together and connectively it's form cluster, and thus oil dirt is removed from our surface of the cloth.